a tool we'll use when we can't think of a chorus is chop up samples and then structure the chorus out with that, and then we'll re-vocal it and we'll re-lyric it, and we'll just use the acapella as a means of a voice, but we'll just chop it, reorder it, pitch it, and then that will generate the melody. And here's some of the original acapellas that were presented. So stuff like that, and like the one that was picked eventually was that's it, pitched up and chopped into place. So then that became the main part of the chorus without any Holly.
We're giving away a signed limited edition test pressing of Maribou State's Hallucinating Love. All you have to do for a chance to win is like, comment and subscribe. The winner will be announced in the comments at the end of the month.
So yeah, the song structure it's never really done in a way of like sit down at a piano and be like, this is the verse, this is the chorus. It tends to be like...
It's more like patchwork, isn't it?
Yeah. Gets pieced together that way.
And this song actually in particular has got a very interesting kind of history timeline, the way it came together in terms of the original demo, and then there's like 2 or 3 whole songs that exist with different vocalists, and eventually we'll go through all of it and you can hear it, but eventually it ends up kind of a mix of all of it, and actually Holly's vocal is taken from a demo from our second album.
Right.
They never made the record.
Right.
So we ended up, I think the track was going to get binned at one point. We were like, it's not working, and then very last minute in the process Chris tried this old acapella on it, and that kind of saves it. But we'll go through it.
Yeah. So maybe I guess we start with the demo. If you got that.
So I am conscious of playing this because I feel like we'll probably lose a bit of respect from people. But this is the original.
Impossible.
This is the original chorus to Otherside.
And is that Holly's voice?
No, that's the sample. That's just an acapella.
Right. Okay.
World class banger that, I think.
I can hear that on the radio.
We spoke to Jack Saunders at Radio 1 yesterday, and he quoted about how poppy this song was for us, and I was thinking, God, if you heard
the original,
it would blow your mind. So that was the original vocal. We knew it was cheesy, but we kind of liked it, and we thought maybe if we can produce it in the right way, that could be a big release on the chorus. But yeah, we sat with this vocal for a while, and we kept going off and on it, and
we even we got Jack to re-vocal it, and then we changed some of the lyrics, and then.
Sorry, Jack.
So basically, it got worse. Yeah. It got a little bit worse.
It got worse before it got better.
I quite like that.
But I mean, yeah, fair play to Jack because he spent ages recording that. But yeah, in the end, I think we just decided that melody in itself was just not the one, and we parked the track then.
Yeah.
Right.
And in picking up on a point Chris mentioned, because we've done this before, often for choruses, like a tool we'll use when we can't think of a chorus is chop up samples and then structure the chorus out with that, and then we'll re-vocal it and we'll re-lyric it, and we'll just use the acapella as a means of a voice, but we'll just chop it, reorder it, pitch it, and then that will generate the melody. And that's kind of how this chorus came about. So here's some of the original acapellas that were presented. So stuff like that, and like so like nonsensical stuff, but it's like creating a framework. And then so we all went away on the writing trip. It was actually Sapperton by then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was another writing trip. So this got parked for over a year maybe for being too poppy. And then when we went on another writing trip, our A&R came down. He was nearby seeing family, Adrian Kemp at Ninja Tune, and we played him a load of demos, and he was like, "This is your hit. Like, this is the one you need to work on," because we weren't sure what to work on. So, yeah, there was. I guess
I think we were a bit at the time. We were like, okay, maybe there.
Yeah.
Maybe that, because we'd really liked the bass. Like, the main thing about the original was just this bass line and the drums. It was something, I think the one thing we always try and do is try and hit new ground with everything. Every track on the record has always got to be something that feels like we haven't done before. And for us, that bass and the drums were a massive departure from it. It was really, really quite poppy. I remember at the time we were a bit unattracted to it because we were like, it felt like a Solange song or something like that, which felt a bit too far for us. But
we do like Solange, though.
Yeah. But you know, in terms of for us, that wasn't the right fit. But yeah, we really liked that bass part, and when Adrian heard it, I think heard it with or without the old vocal, but it just sparked something of us being like, okay, well, let's give it another go, and that's what led on to this part where we all split off. And did we all split off, or
yeah, we all split off and created. We all brought together different samples to try as a contender for the chorus, and then so one of them was the one that was picked eventually was. Oh, this is the original. So that was just an improv vocal take that we did with a singer called Guida. And this is that's it pitched up and chopped into place. So then that became the main part of the chorus. And then we got Jack and I think Andrea was on that, or just some other vocalists we work with just to back it up, and we put lyrics to it. And initially that was the chorus that we had, without any Holly.
This episode is being supported by our good friends at Tape It, the iPhone app made specifically for musicians. If you, like many of our guests, use voice memos, then as far as we're concerned, switching to Tape It is an obvious choice. It's free, and there are a load of features you won't find on Apple's Voice Memos app, including the ability to record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, include photos of settings, and you can easily import your old voice notes, sync to the cloud, and create shared playlists with co-writers and bandmates. So head to the link below to install the app now. And if you want even more, check out Tape It Pro and use the promo code TAPENOTES to receive a whopping 20% off. And now, back to the episode.
So we had the basic form of the song with this chorus. I think Jack put a verse on it.
Yeah, I got it here if you want to have a listen. So this is the first verse from Jack. And actually, when we work with Jack, we write all the lyrics together with the three of us. We've got loads of little tricks that we do to try and generate ideas, but it's a very collaborative approach.
So yeah, Jack wrote that part, which at the time we were all into, and it kicked into the chorus, which again it sort of connected, and it had this kind of contrast between Jack's quite melancholy verse and then this quite bright poppy chorus.
Yeah, because there's a verse here. So this is Holly having a crack at an original verse for this as well. I mean, I'm showing you snippets, but these are full songs. You know, like we've done the whole verse, chorus, verse, like all the way through. But yeah, so this got parked. And we just couldn't quite figure it out. I can't even remember really now why we started challenging Jack's verse, because we'd named the song and everything, and we'd recorded finals. I can't remember why. We started working with Holly on this album actually quite late in the process. It wasn't even sure if we were going to work with her, and Holly had a crack at the verses, but they weren't quite landing, to be honest. And we were chopping and changing between Jack's vocal and hers, and couldn't decide which one to do. And then eventually, very late in the day, Chris took the acapella off a tune called Otherside, which was a demo that was a contender for the single on Kingdoms in Colour, and it was a contender with Nervous Ticks, which was one of the bigger tracks off that record. We had both of them finished. We wanted 10 tracks on the album, so we're like, let's pick one. And we ended up picking Nervous Ticks. So this is the original Otherside, which is quite interesting to hear. This is where the vocal came from.
Hung me out to dry there. Tell me the reason why. Courtesy one line. After all this weight, you don't rate. I didn't like your neither. Tip and a tip denied. Oh, you put me on the other side.
Still sounds good. I mean, it sounds like you could easily have included that on that album.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's so much more like somber than I remember it being.
Yeah, it's slow. It's a lot slower.
Yeah.
And you put me on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's so this will be interesting to see. Did you have to speed up the vocal to go with?
And it's actually it's interesting because that's a lot slower and it's a lot lower. And Holly really just showed us how talented she is by singing this. We said to her, look, we've been experimenting a lot with pitching. We can play around with it. Like, we can drop the track down, we can slow it down, we can drop the pitch. And she was like, no, I think I can do it. And like with a big old warm up, and she managed to sing it at the right pitch, at the right tempo.
Right. Especially that
mid-late bit. Yeah, that's why I just wanted that to play out.
And so had you experimented by taking the vocal from the other side?
Yeah, exactly.
And played it over the instrumental?
So this was like about a month before the album was supposed to be handed in. That, like Liam said, the record was written, and we were going with Jack's vocal on this track. It was originally called People All Around. But there was just something in that last month with the pressure of the deadline that just sort of cast a bit of clarity over everything. And I was in the studio.
We actually cut 3 other tunes as well.
Yeah, so I think last minute there was like 3 songs that just got cut and then 3 new songs brought on, which for us is quite a lot to take on because, you know, each song isn't just done over the course of a couple of days. But I, for whatever reason, was listening to this, the original of Otherside, didn't think it was right, so got the Holly's vocal from this old song, put it over the top, and it just landed perfectly around the chorus sample with all the things you do. And I remember doing it at the time and just like get punch in the air, being so excited, like, yeah, this is great. Showed it to Liam. Liam was the same, but like, this is what we needed. Showed it.
We
to
were
Jack.
nervous about showing Jack. Do you remember? Because at that time his vocal was the main vocal. And we were like, Jack, I know you're singing on this, but this is Holly's old acapella. What do you think? And he was like, yes.
And that's really, it takes a lot, I think, to, when you've spent a lot of time writing lyrics for something, to then be like, do you know what? This is the better song. And
he's a true producer in that sense.
Yeah.
The song is the most important thing. He's like, if he loses the vocal feature, whatever, that sounds better. Yeah. It's admirable.
That was a really nice moment. And then we sent it to Holly, and I think understandably Holly was just a bit more hesitant about it because this is an old song she'd written for something totally different, and we just then taken the acapella and pitched it up and whatever, manipulated it and put it onto this song. So it took her a little while to come around to the idea of us using it, but I think after a couple of weeks, Holly, she sat with it.
Then we get like a text out of the blue being like, it's a banger.